Well, hello and welcome to Abu Dhabi for round 18 of season 4 of my F1 2012 career mode. I am LoveSpuds, and we're so close to the end of the season I can almost taste it, and I just need to sort out one more thing before I try and concentrate on the constructors for the last two races. That is, win the World Championship here and now. And to do that, I'm going to just go out and win the race, hopefully. Should be able to qualify pretty well. I'm usually quite quick around this track. Seems to suit me. I don't know why, but it's not too bad. So it's looking good coming into this race. I've got at least 2 races lead over Rosberg in second. So yeah, I'll probably all I have to do is finish ahead of Rosberg in this race, and then I've got it. What I really need, though, is for Jensen to qualify well as well. If he can get himself into the top 10 at the very least, we still can hang on in there in the constructors. Here's my second sector time there. 1 minute, 1 second. Some tricky corners there. It can throw your car off balance a little bit. Just flying into the setting sun as well. It really does get in your eyes sometimes, but this track really does show off the really cool reflections on the car of the hotel we're just going through now. It's really nice, all the effects and that on the bodywork of the car. It's lovely. Can probably distract you a little bit, I suppose, if that's what happens to you. And there you go. That was an easy pole, really. 1.2 seconds ahead. Unfortunately, Jensen only could manage 10th, which is unfortunate. Let's hope he moves up during the race. Now, I need to analyse this because I know I make a bad start. I don't know what the hell happened there. Yeah, I really don't know what happened. I was just a bit probably I wasn't with it, I don't think. I just wasn't with it. That was a very weird start. Very Mark Webber that was. But oh well, at least it gives us some overtaking action, hopefully, in this race, rather than just sitting out the front. I'm going to take Alonso on this hairpin now, get him out of the way quickly. Unfortunately, Grosjean got past him as well, which is annoying. I'd rather Alonso did stay in 4th there. But Ferrari not having fantastic pace this season, so we can't expect too much, especially against the Lotus. So I don't know where Rosberg ended up actually. I didn't actually look. But I believe that's Schumacher out in front of there. So as things stand, I would easily win the championship. Just need to make sure I can hang on to the back of these guys. Try and make a move into one of the tighter sections, or just wait for DRS. Either way, I want to get past them quite quickly. Actually, I don't even need to do that. As long as I keep on the back of them and not let them get away, it should be alright. But ideally, I want to be out in front. I don't know how much I will be able to hold them up to get Jensen to go past, but I think I'm more concentrating on my own race today. When I recorded this, I was literally falling asleep at the controls, so if my driving does seem a bit weird at times, that will probably be the reason. You know that moment when you're looking at the TV screen and your eyes are just trying to close on you. Yeah, that's what I was going through on the next race in Brazil as well. Brazil, it was actually the worst. So yeah, because I pretty much went on a bit of a marathon in terms of getting this recordings done. So yeah, my driving I think is a bit shocking. I don't even remember doing Brazil at all. I hardly remember driving it. I just remember finishing it. managing to keep on the track most of the time. But anyway, that's for another video. We're in Abu Dhabi, and I'm going to try and make my move on Raikkonen pretty soon. I'm really close to him. Even if I don't get him soon, I can get him on the next lap when I get DRS. So easily within the limit. Bit close here, so I'm going to back off a bit. Sometimes it's not easy to predict what the AI does, but it's a lot easier to predict than a human player, that's for sure. But then again, most human players just want to smash you into the wall, so take the AI any day, as long as they're quick enough. Which for me they are. Some of you guys out there may be like really fast, but the legendary AI do seem to be sort of on my pace for the most part, so I'm quite happy about that. Just looking forward now to 2013, see how the AI stacks up in that one. Especially when they say it is improved. But anyway, I should get DRS now. Just activate that. I'm a bit far out. Might not be able to get him this time round before this corner. Though I am going to smack into the back of him, you know, as you do. But you've got a second DRS zone here, so should be able to make a move now. We are pretty close. Let's move myself into the slipstream a little bit here. Dive up the inside. Try and not make contact. But made the move stick, which is all that matters. And no contact as well, no penalties. You don't want another Vettel incident. And yes, that is Schumacher in front. So that's good. I have no idea where Rosberg is, so we will see. As it stands, Lotus have the strongest pairing at the minute in terms of getting the constructors' points, but I think Jensen is in the top 10 at the very least. I think he's made up a couple of positions, so it's not looking too bad for us either. Raikkonen, yeah, just talking about the pit stop phase really. No real surprise. New fastest lap. Got a bit of clean air, so yeah, we should be able to close up the gap if I don't do that again. Schumacher is around 2 seconds ahead, probably about 2.5 now. So yeah, it's not impossible to catch up, but as long as they don't pick up the pace, it should be alright. But this is a track where I do have decent pace, as you saw in qualifying, as Kimi gets up to the back of me with his DRS. I'll make sure I use up my rest of my curves here just to defend, even if I didn't have a great run out of that chicane. Well, that worked pretty well. Didn't seem to be able to get back onto me, so it's all good. So, finally looking forward to another Grand Prix weekend this in a few days' time. About three or 4 days until practice, I think. Yeah, about 3 days. Practice at the very least, and then 4 days to qualifying. It's about time another one came along. It's been I do hate these long breaks. And then you got the bloody summer break after this as well. So it's like it's a complete drought of F1. But yeah, hopefully the Ferraris and Lotuses will do well, considering it's predicted to be really hot, and that should suit the Ferraris and Lotus better, considering they're so good on their tyres, which means their tyres can heat up quicker and they can get the more maximum out of it. Lotus are traditionally quick in the heat as well, so it's not looking too bad for Raikkonen, that's for sure. You might even see the Ferraris up there in the mix. But yeah, we'd be under no illusion that Vettel's probably still going to have another week, strong weekend anyway. So expect to see him at the front. Mercedes, not so much. I think they'll probably go a bit backwards as usual, especially in the hot temperatures. Unless they've somehow brought an upgrade that is going to help their tyre problems, but I doubt it. It's kind of hard to break tradition when it comes to tyre usage. But yeah, this is the trouble when you got a load of a couple of teams fighting behind Vettel. You got the Ferrari, the Lotus, the Mercedes, all fighting for the wins. But the one constant is always going to be Vettel. So yeah, Vettel's probably going to run away with this championship if they don't do anything about it soon, or someone doesn't emerge to challenge them. Because all the while these three teams are fighting with each other, Red Bull and Sebastian are just sailing away pretty easily. Even retiring in at Silverstone didn't hurt Vettel's chances. He's pretty much going to be about... He's nearly going to have a 2-race lead if everyone's not careful about it. But we'll see. We can only wait and see. Just sitting here rocking backwards and forwards, waiting for some more action to happen. But yeah, there's still a lot of articles going around about Susie Wolff and her young driver test thing. I think it's only reporting so much about her because she's a girl, and I think a lot of people are surprised that a girl can go that, go that fast. She's not the fastest by any means. I mean, she's the I think the other drivers are quite a bit faster than her, but she hasn't had much experience in the car. I'd like to see her when she's got a bit more experience with the F1 car. See if testing really is back next year. It's me and Schumacher dive into the pits here. But chances of her getting a proper race seat are pretty slim, unless she pulls some strings with people she knows, for example. So although she's doing very well, she's probably just, all she's doing is really sort of paving the way, for example, for the next generation of women drivers, sort of breaking through that ceiling, which is good. So yeah, I always said, doesn't matter what gender they are as long as they're fast. Susie hasn't particularly proved that yet. She's been 23rd out of 33, which is still better than 9 or 10 drivers out there, so it's not too shabby. And there you go, I've overtaken Schumacher. That's the guy I needed to overtake. I don't need to worry about the other ones in front of me because they are going to pull into the pits. Jensen's made his way up to 3rd for now, but he will drop back behind me. Hopefully 5th. No, not 5th. He's not going to be 5th, is he? He's going to be about 6th. Though Schumacher's not going to let me go so easily. Can be a bit of a relentless bastard. So let's see where we're going to end up. Well, we're going to end up in first, really, because that pit lane is pretty long when it comes out the other side.
There are quite a few cars in the pits right now. Watch
just need to worry about Schumacher gaining some more time on me. Don't know how well these tyres are going to hold up because I didn't do a hell of a lot of practice. Didn't see how long it took before the tyres went into the deep orange colour. But it should be alright. It's just that I'm quite slow going around the corners thanks to my lower downforce setup. But that is more than enough to keep me in front on the straights and protect me from the DRS zone. Because they just don't have enough. Just don't have enough straight to make a move on me. I would probably get up to the limiter before they were able to pass me most of the time. So yeah, looking good. It looks like the order's going to be Spuds, Schumacher, Raikkonen. I expect Grosjean's going to be in 4th there. Perez is would be in 5th, I believe. I think so. I'm not entirely sure because it can't be Rosberg. I haven't seen him for ages. And then Button, I believe, is in 6th there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, he might be in 7th actually. I don't know. We'll see. I'm surprised no cars have retired yet. Sometimes, usually have about 1 or 2. So, especially at this stage of the race. Oh yeah, Grosjean and Raikkonen, 3rd and 4th. They should get quite a nice points haul. Not brilliant, but it's going to be pretty good. What's that? 18, 15, 12. 15. Oh, I have to yawn again. Oh, excuse me. What's that? 27 points. 3rd and 4th. And then you got my 25. And Jensen should be high enough to get a couple of points in there, so we should earn more points than Lotus if things stay as they are. Schumacher seems to be the only Mercedes in the top 10, though I may be wrong. So he's going to get about 18 points. So we might actually be able to make up some ground here, especially as we started to fall behind a little bit after the last race. But keeping ourselves in the fight. You don't see many seasons where you got pretty much a 3-way constructors fight right up into the final rounds. It is great fun though. Just trying to get Jensen up to the front, especially in the next race as well, because that was a hugely tactical race. So yeah, wait for that one. It should be up tomorrow. But I'll do the commentary for that one later on as well, because I can't do too much tomorrow. And then the last one, round 20, Brazil, should be on the 25th. And then after that, I should be finishing off my race Racer 7 Formula Ford series. Finishing that off, tying everything up until I have to release an update video telling you what's going on with my life and what's happening with the channel over the next couple of months. And then by the end of the month, my internet will be cut off and I'll be moving house. So yeah, I like to just finish things off, get it done. In terms of the F1 montage this season, it might not be season 4 montage, but it might be a montage of all my seasons. So it's like a career montage sort of thing. So I would do maybe like find a song or track that's about 4 minutes long, so I could do like 4 seasons in 4 minutes sort of montage. To be fair, most of the footage from this season, there hasn't been a lot of it, especially when I've been out in front of a few races, especially in somewhere like Spa, as Schumacher tries for the lunge. loses his wing. So that puts Schumacher out of running. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean Raikkonen and Grosjean are going to move up. That's interesting. Now they're going to get 18 and 15. I see. So that's 33 points potentially they're going to get, which could be more than me and Jensen, depending on where Jensen is. I think he's looking at the dots. I think he's like 6th or 7th. 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have moved up to about 6th now if he was in 7th because of Schumacher's little incident. I wonder how far back Schumacher is falling. I couldn't tell because I can't tell which dot is him. I think he must have dived into the pits. If he's out of the top 10, all the better, because then we can extend our lead to them or leapfrog them, depending on where they are in the championship. Because I have already forgotten from yesterday where they are, because it keeps changing over these last few races. The order at the top of the constructors, so it's more like a bit of a jumble. Looks like Ferrari are going to finish in 4th place, and then you got Red Bull somewhere. Can't remember if Red Bull are in 5th or 6th. I think they're probably in 5th, especially with it. They started to have a bit of a stronger showing towards the end of the season. But yeah, I really do want the constructors this season. Once I get this World Championship thing out of the way, I will do my best to get Jensen out in front. You'll see how that goes in the next race. That's quite an interesting one. My goal is to not get penalties either, like I did in last time out in India. If I didn't get that penalty, we probably could have had a double podium, which is unfortunate because I don't always do well at India, and last time was no different. So coming to the final stages of this race now. Lap 12, 14 on this sort of bent straight thing. I'm surprised I haven't locked up more often with my tyres. I seem to have, because I used to always use medium brake pressure on my setups. Now I've gone to the high brake pressure. I've sort of learnt how to sort of adjust the pressure with my finger on the controller. So I press it just enough, like if I was using my foot for the pedals, for example. Which is also why I haven't done too bad with the traction control off, because I sort of feather the throttle probably a bit less than I can do, because I don't always have great run out of the corners sometimes, but I can do it without spinning most of the time. I only make mistakes on occasions, but usually like one every race. I make a mistake at least once every race. I very rarely have a flawless race, that's for sure. Let's just have a quick look, see how far Raikkonen's behind. I think it's about a couple of seconds. Looking like it. Jensen's under a bit of threat from the car behind him, but I don't think it's quite enough speed. Just want him to hang on in there just for another lap. And luckily it's another race without rain as well. I've done extremely well this season with the weather. I haven't had one race where I've had to use the intermediate or wet tyre at all. It's just been unseasonably warm, I guess. Sort of almost reflecting the weather we're getting in Britain at the minute. So there we go, 2.4 seconds. Grosjean's a further 2 seconds behind Raikkonen, so they're pretty much settled. They're not doing anything. I think I saw Alonso in 4th there. I think he's still hanging on a bit. I wouldn't mind one of the Lotus guys retiring. That would be that would help us quite a lot. Don't think it's gonna happen though. It does rarely happen. Grosjean has had his first lap incidents by himself and by me sometimes. He did catch my back wheel in one of the races. Can't remember which one it was. I think it was Japan. Yeah, where he caught my back wheel and he sort of spun round and got himself retired from the race. So I have to say I have had harder driver rivalries, but those incidents have made it quite a bit easier. And I have been offered a Lotus contract for Season 5, which I have signed, and that's where I'm going to finish my F1 2012 career. Shame I wasn't able to particularly record it, because my aim at the beginning of this series was to do 5 seasons. Didn't quite happen. But again, it's not such a bad thing. It would have given me more time to do other series, such as MotoGP, for example. So, yeah, it's alright. 4 seasons is quite enough. I think the optimum amount is probably about 2 or 3 seasons. 2 to 3. Anything more than that just gets a bit samey, especially when it's the same game. Unless you are really hooked on this game, I suppose. I mean, not even I watch like 5 seasons of someone's playthrough, so there you go. Yes, so race result, world champion Jensen finished in 6th. That's 8 points for us, so that's 33 and 33. I think McLaren and Lotus managed to get the same amount of points. My maths is correct, isn't it?
What a drive, you're world champion.
There we go, world champion. It is confirmed with a gap of 81 points to Nico Rosberg. I still didn't actually see where he finished, but never mind, I'll go back and have a look at that in a minute. Well, obviously didn't have a fantastic race, so that's me. Love Spuds, triple world champion, looking fantastic. My reputation should shoot up a little bit after this one. There is the rest of the standings at this point in time. Still a couple of races though, points up for grabs. Now my focus is 100% on the constructors, which we'll have a look at now. And yeah, there we go. Yeah, 1 point separates McLaren and Lotus. Just 1 solitary point. Mercedes are falling off a little bit. 21 points behind. Bad time to be falling behind, that's for sure. What the hell was that? Oh, it's Facebook. Sorry, something just beeped in my ear. So yeah, Red Bull's 5th, Williams 6th, Sauber 7th. Okay, so Force India 9th for some reason. Caterham moving up to 10th, and HRT at the back as per usual. They are really, really bad. I have to say I do not miss them, unfortunately, as much as sad it is to see a team go. So there's my world champion celebration sequence again, always the same, if you win the race of course. But anyway, join me next time for round 19 in the United States. I'll see you then.